this could prove to be our biggest mistake yet. Welcome back to the channel and to stage 6 of the John Muir Way. We are in Linlithgow this morning. We are on stage 6, as I say, so we are going to be walking somewhere in the region of 16 to 17 miles today from here in Linlithgow across to South Queenferry. Let's do a quick recap first. We started this walk on the 22nd of March 2025. Now I should clarify, we've not been walking continuously since March. Even I am not that slow, but since March we've been doing this in stages, roughly every couple of weeks, give or take, as I navigate through all the ducks here. And we're now over halfway. A couple of things to know about today's walk. It's going to be interesting for a number of different reasons. First of all, the weather today is going to be unpredictable. The forecast all week has said that this is going to be around about 25-26 degrees, which is going to be the hottest temperature we've ever walked in. It's a fairly long one today as well, and there's lots to see on this stage. Like I said in my previous video, I'm pretty excited about this stage. We're going to be passing a few really gorgeous stately homes. We are going to be hitting the east coast today, and we'll get to see the Three Bridges and Blackness Castle. So lots to see. So why am I saying this could be our biggest mistake? We have debated all week, given the weather forecast, whether we should attempt to walk this or whether it would be just too hot. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I am no fan of the sun. I'm no fan of high temperatures, but we've decided to go ahead. Now, another thing we're doing a little bit differently, we're actually not starting today's walk at the official start of the walk. If you remember from last week's video, we did come in over the Linlithgow Bridge and then along through the centre of Linlithgow, where we ended at the Borough Hall. The official start point is a little bit further along there. We've actually started at the lochside with the intention of getting some really good views of the palace. That has not quite panned out. I promise the palace is over there. However, visibility is somewhat limited this morning. So we did not get the views we wanted, but we decided to start on the loch side rather than the walk through town again. And we will walk a little bit further along this path and then we'll rejoin the official start a little bit further up. So I don't yet know what today's going to bring. I'm hoping we make it all the way to the end, but we're just going to see what the weather does. It has been forecast to be dry and sunny all day. The forecast has changed to thunderstorms, it's changed to light rain. Typical Scottish weather. We could get any or all of those things at once. So we'll make of it what we will and see how far we get. And just for a little bit of history and trivia for you, Linlithgow Palace, which I had hoped to show you, is the birthplace of Mary, Queen of Scots. Outlander fans would also potentially have recognised it, as quite a few scenes are filmed there too. This is a lovely tribute. In case you can't see it on the camera, it says Shaw Seat, a worthy memory of John P. Shaw, 92 years, who fed the birds here every day on Fisher's Brae in the John Muir Way. We're about an hour in now, and we've just turned off the country lanes and the road walking and into Kinneil Estate, and it is awesome. very cool little bit of Scottish and indeed world history there. So one of the things that stands out most about this walk is just how vast an array of history that you're actually walking through, right through from the Roman Empire to inventions of engineering and modern engineering marvels. And there's more yet to come on today's section. I think this is a perfect time to film because there it is. I am over the moon that the haze has started to clear right at this exact moment. This was one of the main reasons I was looking forward to this section of this walk. This is the first time I'm ever seeing it in person. But right ahead, just where it's sticking out there, is the mighty Blackness Castle.
With the 3 bridges behind it.
And the bridges are starting to emerge behind it. What great timing. I was so hoping it would clear in just enough time for us to be able to see it emerge. At the castle, and it is magnificent. Like I mentioned earlier, this is primarily these days often thought of as the filming location. Outlander episodes have been filmed here. Outlaw King was the film I was mentioning earlier, the Robert the Bruce movie starring Chris Pine, and Mary Queen of Scots, oddly enough, They used this as a filming location for Linlithgow Palace instead of using Linlithgow Palace for the filming location for Linlithgow Palace. It's had lots of different roles over the century. It's been a garrison fortress, it has been a state prison, it has been a royal palace, so lots of different roles. It is sometimes referred to as the ship that never sailed, and that is because if you're looking at it from the sea, the shape of the castle is thought to resemble a very large ship. And the castle is standing tall overlooking the Firth of Forth, which just across the Firth of Forth you can see the outlines of the bridges starting to emerge. Now, Ross, which ones can you see right now because you have better eyesight than I do?
I can see the new Forth Road Bridge and the Forth Railway Bridge.
So road and rail.
Can't see the original road bridge at this point. Pretty well later on.
Now we should get some better views of the bridges as we get into South Queenferry itself. In fact, I believe the trail, I could be wrong about this, but I believe the trail will take us right under
It does.
at least two of the bridges.
Yes. You can actually still walk over the original road bridge.
Ooh.
Not today.
Oh. And because the tide is not quite in, we're getting some lovely views of the local bird wildlife out on the rocks, which hopefully the camera can pick up. And a fun 4,000 miles to magic fact for you. By my count, this is our 4th castle in the last just over a week or so, because we had our North Coast 500 adventure the week before last, which the video should be up on the channel at the point when you're watching this. We got to see Donnan, we got to see Ardwick Castle, and we got to see Dunrobin Castle. So there's been quite a lot of castle content in our lives for the last few weeks. This was where things went wrong. Up into Blackness Castle, the breeze coming off the Firth of Forth had kept those high temperatures at bay. But once we reached the long stretch of woods through the Hopetoun estate, the temperatures started to rise and quickly became stifling. For an extra treat, it started to rain, which did nothing to cool things down and instead left us cooking inside of our rain jackets. We also realised far too late that we'd made a pretty serious error on this one. We hadn't timed out our meals properly and hadn't had anything to eat since breakfast in Bo'ness. So by the time that we made it through the Hopetoun estate, we were running on fumes and we were ready to give up. We did finally make it to the grand sight of the 3 bridges up ahead, though by this time we were in absolutely no mood for filming as we limped our way into town to finish stage 6 of the John Muir Way. Morning. Section 7, John Muir Way. Let's do this. We are on our way back to South Queensferry this morning. We decided to take the car to the train station at Queensferry and we will then walk to our end point for today, which is going to be in Edinburgh city centre, and then we'll take the train back to Dalmeny. We are looking at about a 16-mile walk today. This one's going to take us from South Queensferry. We'll go under the remaining Forth bridges and walk along a little bit of the coast, through a lot of the city today, but we will do some of Corstorphine Hill, and if we are very lucky, we might see some special guests when we come round the back of the zoo. Fingers crossed. Let's get right into it. Never let it be said that long distance walking is not a glamorous activity. It's so hot. We are on Prestonpans Hill. For the sake of full transparency, we did get, well, I don't think we got lost, I think we thought we were lost, but we're back on track. Oh, I've just seen the view. You might be able to see it over my shoulder, but I'm just going to pan round.
From here you can see it.
For anyone not familiar with this landscape, right ahead through those two trees is Arthur's Seat. Edinburgh Castle sits just about in front of that. And then panning all the way around. Look at this peeking through. Okay, that does actually make it worth it because this has been a climb in here. And it's got very sunny. You can probably see it's very, very sunny now. It's very hot now. So we're now starting to get into that, like, after lunchtime. Sun's high in the sky. It's a gorgeous day. So we are going to be coming up shortly on Prestonpans Tower, and then this should hopefully take us around the back of Edinburgh Zoo, and then we're heading in towards the city itself. If you think I look glamorous right now. If you want to know how hot it is, the Florida cooling towels have come out. Oh, we go, hello. It's the third dog that I've got to say hello to on this trail today. What a great day. Good morning. Welcome to a very sunny day here in Edinburgh. We're just walking along Holyrood Park Road for section 8 of the John Muir Way. So we're picking up the trail today where we left it last week. We didn't film a lot coming through Edinburgh at the end of the trail last week. It is heading into Edinburgh's busiest season. In fact, this weekend is the first weekend of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Quick pause there for some road safety. But like I say, this is the first weekend of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Edinburgh is always very busy at the weekends particularly, but we did get to enjoy a walk along the Royal Mile at the end of last week's section. This week this is going to take us from here in Edinburgh through to Prestonpans. We're expecting it to be roughly about between 9 and 10 miles, something like that. And I think this section's going to be mostly tarmac and road walking, generally quite flat and maybe a little bit more urban than the last couple of sections. Our unprecedented long streak of good weather is continuing. We're expecting it to be around about 18 degrees today. Looks like it's going to be quite a sunny day as well. So we should get some good pops of colour along the route. But looking forward to this one, probably heading into some more unfamiliar places at this point. I don't think I have ever been in Prestonpans in my life. Have you ever been there, Ross? So it'd be good to see somewhere new. But as you can see, we are about to enter Holyrood Park. That's going to take us around the base of Arthur's Seat. Probably won't do too much filming today, too much on camera. If everything has gone according to plan, this will actually be part 3 of a single video. I think we'll put all the Edinburgh sections together into one video, because we haven't filmed quite as much on these routes. Just trying to enjoy the scenery a bit more, take it all in. But we'll show you some of the trail along the way. So like I say, about 9.5 to 10 miles. We've probably walked about a mile or so already this morning coming down from Waverley. Oh, nicely timed. Our first marker of the day. But let's head through the park and get on the trail. As I watch people going up there, some of them running up there, I'm glad that the John Muir Way is taking me down the hill.
Into the shade.
Into the shade, exactly. I can't remember if I mentioned it on last week's video, but as we were coming down off Kirstorfen Hill last week, we ran into a very lovely gentleman who saw us taking pictures of the John Muir Way signs, because I've been collecting photographs of them to document the journey along the way. And he saw us taking pictures and he just struck up a conversation, starting off with mentioning that John Muir himself most likely never set foot on the majority of this walking trail. But he then was just starting to tell us about a lot of the history of Kirstorfen Hill. He knew loads about John Muir, he knew loads about the history of Edinburgh, all the various surrounding areas. And he walked actually a fair bit of the way down off Kirstorfen Hill with us, just chatting through. It was almost like having a guide.
Yeah, put it in this railway. If memory serves, it was originally a horse-drawn railway to carry goods across East Lothian, but the locals also took a fondness to it and added in some passenger cars, and it became very popular between late 1800s and mid 1900s until it closed. But it was all horse-drawn cows because they did not trust steam engines.
And right over here we have Scotland's first ever railway tunnel. So there you go. Down the bike path we go. A little bit of a preview today. That's probably our next port of call, 6 miles along here to Musselburgh. So we are now in Brunstein. We have been walking, is it this way?
That way.
Oh, okay. We've been walking for, I think we arrived at the coffee shop in Brunstein near enough exactly 2 hours after we left Edinburgh Waverley. So keeping up a relatively good pace today. It is blisteringly hot, just purely because we're walking directly facing the sun all the time and it's quite a bright day. But we're just coming out of Brunstein now. We stopped for a coffee and a sweet treat to keep us going, and then we'll stop again maybe for a bit of lunch in Musselburgh. So we are now just taking this little forest path There hasn't really been much to show you on this route so far. It's been predominantly a shared walking and cycle track. Looks an awful lot like this. There hasn't really been much variety so far. I'm hoping the paths are going to open out a little bit, but we did know this section was going to be mostly the same type of path. So we'll get going. We think it will take us probably another hour or so to get to Musselburgh, if that, and then we'll see what we see there. Well, we've reached Musselburgh and we're back on the coast again. It's so lovely to see the beach and the water. Don't know how much the camera will pick up, but out in the water we've got a couple of sailboats by the looks of it. And way off there in the distance, which if the camera can pick it up, we have a cruise ship docked across the water then. We'll see if we can find out what ship it is and let you know. What a lovely day to come down here. The views are amazing. Now that actually took us a lot less time. Once again, I have found that my lack of geographical knowledge always leaves me puzzled as to how long anything will take. So that couldn't have taken more than half an hour to get from where we stopped at Brunstein to over here in Musselburgh. I sent Ross ahead to grab a bench because I'm going to sit here and enjoy the sound of the waves for however long I wish to. What an absolutely glorious day. Just gorgeous. I had a quick look online there and I think, if the schedule is correct, that is the Fred Olsen Balmoral cruise ship across there. And another boat, obviously much smaller than the Balmoral, coming in to Musselburgh Harbour there. We're just heading out of Musselburgh now, which is a gorgeous place in its own right, but what I love about it is being able to look backwards and see where things started. Now over there you can see Arthur's Seat getting a little bit smaller with each step, but all the way in the distance you can see the tops of the Queenferry crossing, one of the Forth bridges that have been really the centre point of our last couple of stages. Plus we have this street going on over here. All the swans. This section here, just a little bit further behind where we've just walked from, is where the river starts to flow into the sea and the local swan population gather. So we've got 3 miles left today, heading into Prestonpans. I'm hoping we're going to stay on the coast. I'm not sure if it will take us a detour off it, but I'm hoping we'll stay pretty much on the coast now. It's still very hot, but walking on the coast you have that lovely breeze coming off the water, so it's keeping things quite cool. But also the views are just out of this world. You hear me saying it all the time on the channel, and it is true. The camera can truly only do so much. It can only pick up so much detail. but seeing this in person is just absolutely breathtaking. Well, we've made it. We're here in Prestonpans. It is, what time is it?
It is currently 20 past 1.
20 past 1, so much more rapid than I expected today.
We started all the way over there.
Yep. All the way over there, beyond Arthur's Seat, and in the city of Edinburgh. And brought us down here on the coast at Prestonpans. I must admit I have thoroughly enjoyed this aspect of the walk. This whole walk along the coast here has been absolutely beautiful and well worth the effort to walk along this. But that is it for this section 8 of the John Muir Way. I hope you've enjoyed coming along these last few sections with us. We only have 2 more left. Coming up next we're going to have back here in Prestonpans along to North Berwick, and then our final section North Berwick along the coast hopefully to Dunbar, which is the birthplace of this man right here, John Muir himself. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.